So, this just happened.
That right there was a video of Russian Wagner mercenaries in Venezuela in 2024. And what we're learning right now is that another group of potentially hundreds of Wagner mercenaries from Russia have arrived in Venezuela. This, as the news has broken, that the Trump regime has indeed made the decision to attack military installations inside Venezuela.
What's up, YouTube? Drill Sergeant here. And, that's what's been reported. At least that's what's being reported. The White House seems to say that they're not going to do this, but there are a few parts of this story that I need you to hear because it is inevitable. It's inevitable. This is where we've been going, obviously. We've already bombed boats and boats and boats without names, without due process. We've already gotten used to masking people, swifting them away, putting them in black cars, putting officers with masks on our own streets. We've already got used to not having due process. And the MAGAites are up in arms. No, I'm sorry. The MAGAites don't care. They love it. They find a way to love it. And so they've been programmed to not need due process. They've been programmed to use violence, state violence, for any reason at all. As long as the orange God King, as long as the tangerine tornado with purple cankles says so, they bow down. So yeah, you can believe we're going to have a war with Venezuela. I'm going to let you watch everything there, and we're going to break some more stuff down. This is important. It's not just about us. This is important. I got some real news here.
That right there was a video of Russian Wagner mercenaries in Venezuela in 2024. And what we're learning right now is that another group of potentially hundreds of Wagner mercenaries from Russia have arrived in Venezuela. This, as the news has broken, that the Trump regime has indeed made the decision to attack military installations inside Venezuela. The strikes could come at any moment, sources with knowledge told the Miami Herald. It could be indeed within hours. Now, the Trump regime is saying they have not made that decision yet, but they lie about everything. The same way they lie and claim that they are shooting these narco terrorists in the Caribbean right by Venezuela, but then refuse to provide the identities of who the individuals are. They claim this is part of an operation to go after fentanyl, but then after the latest closed session briefing in the House of Representatives and in the Senate, we learned that they now claim their target has just been cocaine and that they have refused to positively identify who the individuals are that have been killed in these military operations off the coast of Venezuela and Colombia. And we know, for example, from the president of Colombia, he said that innocent Colombians have been killed. And so we certainly need a lot more data there. Look, don't have to take my word for it. I'll just show you what a Republican Congress member, Mike Turner, had to say about it this morning. Here's what, again, Republican Congress member Mike Turner had to say. Here, play this clip.
What should Republicans be doing in the House as it pertains to just randomly blowing up these boats?
Well, everybody's very concerned. From our classified briefing that we had yesterday, everyone is very, very concerned, of course, about the drug trade and the impact in the United States, the deaths that have occurred, and impacting the flow of drugs into the United States. People are similarly very concerned about what the administration is doing with the deaths that are occurring, with the blowing up of the boats. Yesterday, there were not very good answers as to, what is the standard, what is occurring with the designation of cartels as terrorist organizations. things. We understand that the structure of these cartels, and designating them as terrorist organizations makes sense. But what is the standard? What is occurring in this? How is it being determined as to how military force is being utilized and being applied in this situation?
Mr. Chairman, did you get the answers that you were looking for yesterday, Mr. Chairman?
No, and in fact, lawyers were supposed to be in the room. They were not. People were very frustrated in the information that was being provided. It was a bipartisan briefing, but people were not happy with the level of information that was provided, and certainly the level of legal justification that was provided.
Now, despite the fact that there were more Congress people who came out of that meeting that said the same thing, they don't know what the hell is going on, which means our president has just declared war without Congress. And no matter how many times they deny it, they did it already a long time ago by bombing enemy combatants without due process, using the war machine. Now, the biggest part of that, though, is that Russian group, those Russian contractors were in Venezuela in 2024. I didn't know that. But I did know this. Did you know that Venezuela buys all of their war equipment from Russia? I also said this in a live show with Sons of Liberty, that Russia came right out of Alaska, the Alaska meeting that was ridiculous, the red carpet, saying that they don't think that anything should be done in Venezuela and they're against it. Meanwhile, in the background, they already had mercenaries there. And I said that is bullshit. You know how I knew it was bullshit? It was because if Donnie Boy, 24 hours, one day after that Alaska meeting, saying that he was going to start bombing in Venezuela, and Putin said, no, I'm not with it, then that is obvious bullshit. Because Donnie Boy does nothing but go on his knees and open his mouth with both hands for Putin. And there's no way in hell that he would have just got out of a meeting with him and do something that Putin says not to do. What happens is Putin is looking for plausible deniability. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't want that at all. Meanwhile, he just told your boy, Orange Face, do it so they can buy more weapons from me. If you don't believe that this is something I've known about and have been trying to tell you about, here's where I said it on a live weeks ago. I want to know if either one of you know the number one buyer of ground assault or ground weapons, guns, tanks, of ground warfare weapons from Russia. Do you know who that is? Venezuela.
Interesting.
Right. At a time right after Putin goes to Alaska, makes a big stink about saying, you can't touch Venezuela, goes back. And then the guy who always does what Putin says decides to bomb boats in Venezuela the next day. No. Putin is a master. What he did was say, I need you to bomb them and I need plausible deniability. So what I'm going to do is tell you I don't want you to do that. Go home and then you start it. And so said, so done. And between that Alaska meeting and today, Venezuela has amassed more weapons from Russia, giving them the money they need to get around all the sanctions they've been getting from every other UN country but America.
Interesting.
That's what's happening.
Throw the link in the chat.
Yeah. So now it should be clear. Not only is Russia using us as a proxy for their war, so that the people they're warring against can buy weapons from them. Shit is brilliant if you're an egomaniacal maniac like Putin. But they can't wait to change the regime and get all the oil and minerals from there as well. Get paid twice, using us as the pawns like the clowns that we are now. Our men will die. I don't know how many women are left. They've been kicked out. Maybe they're thankful for that right about now. Our men will die for no reason. Not for oil, not for minerals. Our men will die for Russia this time. That's where this war is coming from, where it's going. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you but that. Where are you, MAGA? Where's the people who voted for no more wars? How many times in the comment section? So you just like endless wars? No, you do. You like whatever daddy tells you. Where are you at? Where's the no wars president? You ready to worship at the golden statue he's putting up in Mar-a-Lago? I'm sorry, in Gaza. I don't know what else to tell you except we need to remove this authoritarian regime, this warmonger, and his entire cabinet of warmongers, Christian white nationalists, white Christian nationalists, Nazis, Sig Heiling on the first day. We need to remove them. November 20th, we're going down to Washington, D.C. to do just that. We're going into the Capitol. We're knocking on the doors of the senators and House members to let them know we're here. It's time to remove him. Our power is absolute, not his. We the citizens, we the people. Our power is absolute. We've not maybe shown up enough for them to remember. I will see you November 20th through the 23rd, 22nd. November 20th through the 22nd. I'll be there with a camera. I'll be there with Sons of Liberty and Closer to the Edge podcast. I'll be knocking on those doors, making those requests, seeing who's down with removing this regime, illegal, authoritarian regime. Will you be there? Will you be there? It needs to be millions. It needs to be millions filling that Capitol. And not like they did on January 6th with gas masks and flagpoles. It's our home. We can just go. You don't need a rebellion for that. We can just go. Many of you didn't know that. I will see you there November 20th. Is it real now? 20th, 21st, and 22nd. The Removal Coalition. Visit the website if you need to know how to get there. Get there. Tomorrow we fight. Hey, yeah, you. Before you click away to watch someone unbox a tactical toothbrush, let's talk about something real. Political Drain isn't just another content mill. We're a digital front in a very real war. Not with bullets, but with ideas, with action, and with solidarity. We pair urgent news with critical education. And we build community around actual resistance, not the hashtag kind. The kind that moves. But here's the thing. None of this is free. It isn't. Behind every video is time, labor, research, and some weird guy asking if we're going to pay the hosting bill. And yeah, some of that money goes to things we can't necessarily say out loud. If you know, you know. Let's just say our special ops aren't Call of Duty LARPers. They're people making real moves to protect, uplift, and organize. You're not just funding a channel. You're funding a resistance network in a world where capital still calls the shots. Unfortunately, in a system built on artificial scarcity, even mutual aid has a price tag. And if we want to grow, if we want to win, we need your help. We need your help. So if you've got even a few bucks to spare, toss it our way. It's not for ads. It's not for merch drops, but for people making moves in the shadows so others can do it in the light. It's just us and you. So fund the mission, fund the fight, fund the future, because nobody's coming to save us. We save each other. That's how this works. Follow us on all these things you see here, and our link tree is in the description. Maybe even get some merch.